welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Kitty Peps channel. So today I am back again with another lock video, and today I'm here just to talk about some lock regrets. If you are about to embark on a lock journey and are curious to find out some of my regrets on this journey, or some of the things that I've thought about which I do not particularly like about locks, then keep on watching this video. So as you guys know, I started my lock journey in July 2016, which makes it 2 years that I have been natural, 2 years and a few months that I have been natural. And for the most part, my lock journey has been amazing. And as you guys, if you've been a loyal follower since the beginning, you know that I have gone through a whirlwind of emotions. And even my last video that I just released, I did speak about some frustrations that I've been having recently with regards to locks, and I just thought, why not make a video just to talk about if I have regrets. If so, what are the regrets, or some of the things that I think about in terms of being on this lock journey, and kind of, you know, wish somebody had explained to me. I remember when I did ask somebody, I did ask 2 people on my Facebook when I was intending to start my locks on how they felt about their lock journey. Basically, I just asked them, I want to start locks, would you advise me to? And both of the responses were no. And I guess at that time, because I wasn't really like interested in knowing the nitty-gritties of it, I did not pursue the conversation in terms of why they regretted or why they were advising me not to get locks. And I just kind of felt like this is definitely a video that I would want to watch if I was starting my lock journey. And yeah, so I am here to deliver that video. So the first thing that I would say I regret about starting locks is, bearing in mind, I'm just putting this disclaimer out there, this does not mean I'm gonna cut out my locks anytime soon, or anything like that. But yeah, these are some of the emotions that I've been through throughout this journey, especially now that I'm 2 years into my journey. One of the main things that I do kind of regret is starting my lock journey when I started it. What I mean by that is, sometimes I look at myself and I think, gosh, I'm so young. I know it sounds quite ridiculous, because there was a point where I did say, you know, I should have started my locks a year earlier before I started them. But one of the things I kind of think about is, so is this me until I die? Like, because I've heard, like, let's say for example, from people that have had children, and they've then suffered from post natal hair loss, and their hair has never been the same after that. And it just might kind of makes me think, like, maybe I should have wore my hair out longer before having kids, because I'm in my 20s, I'm in the prime where my hair is flourishing. Even though I suffered from PCOS and hair loss from that, and it gave me frustrations of its own, I just kind of felt like, why am I, you know, not celebrating my 20s with loose hair? There's also things I consider, like menopause, and I've seen people very close to me lose their hair because of menopause. And I think, you know, maybe I should have just enjoyed my hair a little bit longer, because there's still styles that I'm interested and keen in trying out, like relaxing my hair and cutting it very short. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are some of the things that I wish I regret sometimes, starting my locks earlier than my whole life. And then I think to myself, you know, what if I'm going to have attachment issues, like when I want to cut my locks, and am I going to feel some type of way about about them, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's just a mess sometimes. One of the things that I do regret about my locks sometimes is having the size of locks that I have. I will explain that in two different scenarios, because sometimes it affects me in different ways depending on how I feel. Especially when I started my locks, I loved the idea of the size that I had because I felt like it was very unique, blah blah blah. But there are times when I regret it, especially when it comes to lock retwists. Somebody that's got like 100 locks or less, their retwist goes so much faster than my retwist. In terms of fuzz as well, I feel like you can see mine more clearly with smaller locks than you can with larger locks. And those are some of the things I regret sometimes about having locks. On the contrary, I also regret combining the locks because I felt like some of my locks, because I felt like they weren't going to make it, and I felt like I actually eventually wanted to have bigger locks. And then when I wanted to unravel them, it was too late. The hair had already combined, and the only way I was gonna start again or have them separated would be to cut them apart, and I didn't want to cause hair damage. So that's one of the regrets that I have, like just not embracing sometimes crap that people say, or you know, sometimes hairdressers will tell you things like, oh, you know, your locks are gonna, but it's all down to maintenance. It's down to how you care for your hair type, your hair texture. And some of the locks that I left, which were really tiny, let me see if I can spot one from this side, isn't it? Some locks that are really tiny that I thought, oh, you know, maybe they wouldn't make it. Like, let's say for example, this one, as you can tell, it's very slim, but it's survived a whole 2 years and a bit, and it's been absolutely healthy. I haven't seen any problems with it. So I do regret in some ways combining my locks, and then in some ways having the lock size that I have, because it can be frustrating trying to retwist. One of my other frustrations, which I came to realize, as some of you know, I do sell wigs here and there, and one of the regrets or that I have in terms of having locks is I cannot wear my wigs anymore. Initially in the first year, I even made a video on how to wear your wig on top of locks. It was so much easier because the locks were started with conch coils, so the hair was still relatively flexible. It would be like having like a perm rod set or anything like that, and then just putting a wig cap. My hair still laid flat, but now I cannot do that. It's either the wig will be pulled back by the bulk of the locks at the back, or I will have a tension headache, because of the tension of the wig just pushing and pulling my hair so tight. I remember there was one time I went to see my parents in Birmingham, and as I was traveling, I got to a point where I was at a traffic light. It was a very busy traffic light, but my head just felt so tight. I was like, you know what, forget this. I just yanked off the wig at the traffic light, and bearing in mind I had sewed the locks down, because I felt like, oh, maybe if I sew the locks down it will make it easier for me to put on a wig. That didn't help, and even when I did wear the wig, it looked awful, because unless I'm wearing like a bulked up wig, you can't really see what's going on. But for the most part, like pixie wigs, I can just forget about those. Little short bob straight wigs, I can just forget about those, because I'll have like a big bulge just sitting there at the back, and it's very unattractive. And it's like, I don't know, when I've seen women with wigs like that, I always think, baby girl, why are you out of the house like that? And I just felt like I do not really want to be one of those extra backhead communities. So those are some of the regrets that I have. One of the regrets that I have about starting locks, because sometimes you just miss having the flexibility to wear like a lace frontal like everybody else, or just trying on a different style, a different color, and it just looks odd doing that. And then when I wear a wig, it just looks awful because I've got this extra head that's at the back of my head. So that's one of my lock regrets. One of the things that I do think about sometimes in terms of lock regrets, again, this is coming back to the size of the locks. There are times when I've seriously thought like sister locks are really cute, and I really probably would have wanted to start sister locks. But then when I think about the cost of sister locks, number one, when I think about the whole crocheting method, number two, because I'm very fussy about who does my locks, I just think forget it. It wasn't for me, it's not for me, and never will be for me. But there are times when I think, oh, instead of getting traditional locks, I maybe should have got sister locks. But yeah, I'm just looking down because I've written down everything on my phone just to make sure I would not forget it. But with that said, that is all I have to share with regards to my lock frustrations, or rather lock regrets. And I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you are embarking on your lock journey, I do hope you have found it helpful, and will be able to kind of have an in-depth Q&A with yourself before starting the lock journey, and just kind of looking at pros and cons of everything, and really setting out to make the decision on whether you are for that life or not for that life. Because yeah, anyway, there's nothing that can stop me right now from cutting my locks. But do I really want to do that? No. At the moment, I still love my locks more than the regrets, so we'll keep it this way for the time being. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. For now, take care and God bless. Bye.